Morning all. We're out in the woods, right up in the hills. So there's a lot of the mist settled down. It's a pleasure to be out, and we're going to have a look at the Scorpion 3. We're going to do a full demonstration. Going to get her set up as she gets to you out the factory. So this box hasn't even been opened. What you'll find when you first get your Scorpion 3 is it will come in two separate parts. So you'll have the fly sheet and you'll have the inner tent. So what I'm going to do first, this part 1, I'm going to put up the fly sheet. Primarily because once you've done the second part and you've taken the inner tent and you've clipped her all in place, you may choose never to unclip that. You may choose to store it connected. So when you come to put your tent up again in the future, all you've got to do is part 1. Does that make sense? Right, we'll crack on with this. The thing I love about the Scorpion 3 most, it lends itself well to camping out in the woods, if you know what I mean. It's not just a campsite tent. I'm sure that makes sense. It feels at home in the woods as much as it would, you know, if you were just at a standard campsite along with everybody else. Anyway, right. So, as with the Scorpion 2, comes in a nice bag, clips in with the buckles, nice and easy to put away. I know some of you guys struggle putting tents away. This is a cinch. Right, so inside you get a repair kit. It is, for all intents and purpose, it's a 3-man tent, and I use that term loosely because, well, you'd have to be 3 lean men to fit in here. It's not small, it's a good 2-man tent. 2 men with all their gear, you fit in there comfortably. 3 people, you'll fit in there, not a problem, but your kit might have to sit outside the porch. But it's got a porch, so winner winner. Right, like I said, it comes in 2 pieces. I think we're going to set up here, aren't we? Right, inner tent, and what we're going to put up first is our fly sheet, our outer skin. Right, we've got destructions if you want them. Pegs. All of the Snugpak tents come with these awesome pegs. They're like they're overbuilt. Let's put it that way. They're heavy, durable, strong. I'll be honest with you, if you ain't getting a strong breeze or wind, the majority of this tent is freestanding. There you go. That's what you get. Freestanding in the sense that once you put it up, it will sit there. All you really have to do is peg out the corners and peg out your porch. You won't have to honker it down to keep its shape. Right. Your poles are colour coded. So you get 3 poles. All fingers and thumbs this morning. Can you hear the wildlife? It's lovely out here. Right. Colour coded. You have your black, your green, a green and a silver. So bear that in mind. I'm going to find the front part of it first. the porch area. Can I find it? Right, here we go. So, you can see I've laid her out. We've got our 3 areas in which you stick the poles. So, if you look at the ends, green, silver and green. So they're your green poles and that's your silver pole. Right. We'll do the greens first. These poles are incredibly durable. It's not fiberglass. These are aluminium anodized poles, really strong. Right, you'll find, see we've got a little kink. That kink goes towards the front. So all I'm going to do, try not to get it in the water. Green loop. I'm going to poke it all the way through. That's one pole. Don't worry, I'll pick those elastic bands up. We don't leave litter in the woods, no matter how small it is. Right, pole number 2, we kink at the front. We've had a bit of a downpour this morning, so it's a bit damp here. As you can see, you don't actually have to be that gentle with this tent. It's gonna take a beating. It's gonna take a pounding. Right. So that's our 2 green poles in place. Now, for our 3rd and final one, this opens up the front. This is like the porch area. Snap, snap, snap. No kinks, no bends in this one, so you don't really have to orientate this one. What you want to bear in mind if you are considering going camping out in woods, especially pine woods in the UK, is the air. Humidity. Very moist, very damp, very susceptible to condensation issues. And this is where the Scorpion 3 tent is better than a lot of other tents. You've got 3 large vents on this tent, and you'll see once I put her up, and it really allows the air to circulate in there, so you're not going to wake up wet. I hope that makes sense. Right, now the simple part. We're going to form the shape. So, I'm going to do the porch one first. Select an eye, perhaps the furthest one away, out of the 2 eyelets. And again, furthest one away, out of the 2 eyelets. So that's our first pole put into position. You see, she'll start taking shape now. Furthest one away, take a bit of that slack up. Go to the rear, pop her in. Like I said, I'm not playing gently with this tent. Doesn't need it. She ain't gonna break. Look at the size of that. So, final one, straight in there. There we go. Boom! Right, I'm going to take you for a guided tour. What I might do is actually peg her out a bit. Get a bit of shape into her. Then you can see exactly. Porch area. Other side. We're just going to do this. You haven't got all day to watch me put a tent up, have you? So I think that might do for now. Give you a wee guided tour. And then, like I said, in part 2, we will put the inner tent in. Right. Shall I take you for a wee guided tour? Okay. Excuse the jerky motion. So, here's our porch area. Double zip. 1, 2. You can actually roll that up and then it ties in place. You can guy her out. Guy her out. Another fixing point down here. That's what I was talking about, one of the vents. It's quite a hefty vent. Guy out. Now, you can see the size of it. It's not small. It's not massive. Yeah, this is one of my favourites. So, shall I set you up here? Just in closing. Right. Isn't that lovely? Can you hear all that? Let's be honest. That is why we get out here, isn't it? This is the whole point. To appreciate the beauty of this. Right, that's it, part 1. Part 2, all we're going to do, simply click that into place. Boom, there you go. Right, catch you in part 2. Bye!